Hold on, let me get a better green screen image. There it is. Does that work, or is that too mundane? Should I change that? Is that too mundane, or should I keep that? I like Chinatown. They have tolerable food. Of course, Wohop tasted like dog dump the last time we were there. What's up, Proud Boy? What you doing? What's up, America? Everybody, we are going to, looks like we are about to go to war with Venezuela. Is everybody ready to go to war with Venezuela? Donald Trump just announced that very soon we're going to be going to war. Action on the ground in Venezuela. According to Donald Trump, tweeting action in Venezuela very soon. What's up, America? How's everybody doing? What's up, Shitty Walk? Trump says the United States will very soon take ground action in Venezuela. What? Nothing. You should smoke that. Trump made the comment during a Thanksgiving address to U.S. service members, thanking the Air Force for its work to deter Venezuelan drug traffickers. What's up, America? President Donald Trump on Thanksgiving night threatened the U.S. could very soon attack drug runners on Venezuelan soil. Trump made comments during a Thanksgiving address to U.S. service members around the globe. He thanked the Air Force for its work in attacking ships in the Caribbean Sea, and his administration said is trafficking drugs. It's about an 85% stopped by sea, Donald Trump says, and we'll be stopping them by land also. And land is easier. That's going to start very soon. You can see me? No.
No, in your profile pic you said you can see me, but it says...
Oh, that's my daughter. That's my daughter. So, since September, the military has targeted 21 vessels, killing 82 people. Operation Southern Spear, also using the United States' SEAL Team 6, which we have reports now that it looks like my... God damn it. Sorry, my news source locked up here. Pete Hegseth orders first Caribbean boat strike, says kill them all, as two men clung to a stricken boat burning, targeted by SEAL Team 6, and Pete Hegseth ordered them to be struck again to kill the drug runners, which they were killed. The United States Congress is calling our attacks on Venezuela blatantly illegal, and the president had a phone call potentially with Nicolas Maduro. So Donald Trump, according to the news, this is according to the New York Times, had a phone call last week with Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. They discussed a possible meeting, but nothing had been scheduled. And the administration continues to increase the military pressure on Venezuela. President Donald Trump spoke by phone last week as Nicolas Maduro, the Venezuelan leader, and discussed a possible meeting between them. Multiple people with knowledge of the matter said, even as the United States continues to threaten military action against Venezuela. The conversation took place late in the week, two of the people said. It included a discussion about meeting between the two men in the United States, according to the people with knowledge of the matter. What's up, America? Thank you for being here. Don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe. According to people with knowledge of the matter, who were granted anonymity because they're not authorized to discuss it publicly. There are no plans at the moment for such a meeting. The phone call, which included Secretary of State Marco Rubio, I'm assuming he speaks Spanish, by the way. What's up, China? How you doing? Thank you. Hell yeah. What's up? Is it Hang Xiao? Is that what it is? What's up? We love China, of course. Venezuelan leader discussed a meeting between the United States and Venezuela. The conversation between Donald Trump and Nicolas Maduro took place last week. Two of the people said it included a discussion about meeting in the United States. They've said that 3 times in the fucking news story. The phone call, which included Marco Rubio, came days before the State Department's designation on Maduro as a leader of a terrorist organization, the Cartel of the Sun, came into effect. You suddenly ended TikTok just as I came in. I was leaving there because initially my live stream was shut down, but then reinstated for misinformation because I have stalkers. So I'm trying to come to YouTube a lot more. So I'm going on TikTok and then I'm ending it after like an hour or hour and a half. And then I'm coming over here to start gaining on YouTube because it's just simply better in my opinion. The United States has built up a substantial military presence in the Caribbean aimed at Venezuela. Administration officials have said their goal is to deter drug smugglers, but have also made clear that they want to see Maduro removed from power, possibly by force. That's up in the air. The New York Times reported October that Mr. Maduro had offered the United States a stake in the oil fields, along with a host of other opportunities, but the United States refused, saying they don't care about the oil. They want to get rid of the drugs. I couldn't find the live. What's up, Nana? The White House spokesman declined to comment on the call between Trump and Maduro. The Venezuelan government did not respond to a request for comment. 2 people close to the Venezuelan government confirmed that the direct qual between the 2 leaders had taken place that did not want to be identified. Once again, saying the exact same thing twice because probably a fucking AI wrote this. Those strikes are part of a broader aggressive posture. What's up, America? How you doing? What is your name, Green? My name is Alejandro, and we have this to smoke. Mr. Trump said that attacks on the ground would probably start shortly. He made the comments at Mar-a-Lago. And also, they have a $50 million bounty. Thank you. What's up, Andrew, on Nicolas Maduro? So, I have a question that's another news story. This is trending on the Drudge Report right now, even though they've been bought by left-wing interests in many cases. Do you believe that Donald Trump is in a mental spiral? Or do you believe he's as good as ever? Apparently, they've been saying Donald Trump is having mood swings. He called a reporter a fat cow, stupid female. He asked a woman today if she was stupid. He called a governor hard R. Am I allowed to say that word here? I don't know. I've been on TikTok so long. I don't know what am I allowed to say. Am I allowed to say retarded? Is that? I don't know. We're going to say that. But he called a governor that. And Tim Walz demands MRI results, but I don't trust Tim Walz because Tim Walz led a great deal of Somali fuckfaces that did a bunch of bad shit with fraud in our country. As you know, a bunch of Somalis are now being deported because of the fucking bullshit that they were doing. I have never been to Minnesota. That's the thing. I've been all over the country. I've never been to Minnesota. So allure me. I have friends in Minnesota on TikTok, and some people tell me it's bad. Some people tell me it's not. What do you guys think? You let me know. What's up, my friend? How you doing, Huang Chao? Is it Huang Chao? Is that what it is? It's Xiao. I can't speak Chinese properly. My wife's niece was my wife's niece just came back from 6 months in Chengdu, I believe it is. So she was over in China for quite a while. Well, there you go, H. Pollard. Exactly. There you go. So Trump is sparking fury by saying he's going to recognize occupied Ukrainian territory. You pilled, of course. Let me know what you guys think on this story. Donald Trump to hand Putin Ukraine's occupied territory. U.S. president sends envoys to Moscow with plans to recognize Russia's war gains. Do you think that's good or do you think that's bad? The United States is poised to recognize Russia's control over Crimea and other Ukrainian territories to secure a deal to end the war. The Telegraph understands that Donald Trump has sent a peace envoy, Steve Witkoff, and son-in-law, Jared Kushner, which is weird as fuck. We need to vet the people. You damn right, Nana. To make a direct offer to Vladimir Putin in Moscow. So listen to this and let me know if you think this is good, bad, or ugly. The plan to recognize territory which breaks U.S. diplomatic convention is likely to go ahead despite concerns among Ukrainians' European allies. One well-placed source said that it's increasingly clear the Americans don't care about the European position. I agree with that. They say Europeans can do whatever they want. And you see, a reason for that, historically, in my opinion, is the fact that Europe is basically impotent and generally does the wrong thing. So I would sidestep Europe also because kind of fuck some of them. Because there's a lot of money to be made in petrodollars coming from Russia. Oh, dude, we're not going to be moving forward with MAGA until mid-2026 when it comes to prices. So I already have a timeline of this. And so you're not going to see any movement because Trump and his individuals started giving the investors of his presidency and the ultra-wealthy gains because they said they were going to bring jobs and factories back to America. And even though they got gains, they're not doing that. So that being the case, Trump is turning dark Trump right now. Let me see your lighter real quick. Because of that. But the attempt initially was there, and Trump gave the ultra-wealthy a while. He needs to not give the ultra-wealthy a while. Which is, what are you talking about? I'm talking about Trump helping the ultra-wealthy instead of the middle class and the poor first. That'll be changing about mid-2026, according to Scott Bessent, who is a Soros-driven pile of shit. But I digress on that. I can't stand Scott Bessent. Scott Bessent's one of the worst human beings I've ever talked to or dealt with in my life. Well, I've never talked to him, talked about him. But that's because Scott Bessent has a bad history. Now, the Russia gain news is one thing. One thing we need to talk about is what Donald Trump... Oh, I am. What Donald Trump is saying on...
She's not talking to you. She's talking about
okay. Yeah, he does need to speed up. We need money, too. People need disposable income. So I want to read a Truth Social thing from Donald Trump, a couple of them, actually. And I want to see what you think about this. Sorry, I'm trying to find it right now. And this is about people that are come over here illegally. But here's another one by Trump. I'll read a couple of them. So the first one I want to read is a Truth Social by Trump. And then I want to talk about the one YouTube format is fuck. Yeah, see, that's the thing. I don't know how it works, but I'm glad there's at least something here. Gift them or do a membership or subscribe if you can. At least subscribe. So this is Trump written November 27th, 2025. A happy Thanksgiving salutation from our great American citizens and patriots who have all been so nice in allowing our country to be divided, disrupted, carved up, murdered, beaten, mugged, and laughed at, along with certain other foolish countries throughout the world for being politically correct and just plain stupid when it comes to immigration. The official United States foreign policy stands at 53 million census, which Most of are on welfare from failed nations or from prisons, mental institutions, gangs, or drug cartels. They and their children are supported through massive payments from patriotic American citizens who, because of their beautiful hearts, do not want to openly complain or cause trouble in any way, shape, or form. They put up with what has happened to our country, but it's eating them alive to do so. A migrant earning 30 grand with a green card will get 50 grand in yearly benefits. The real migrant population is much higher. The refugee burden is the leading cause of social dysfunction in America. I would argue but agree with some of that. Emily? You all right? Something that did not exist after World War II. Failed schools, high crime, urban decay, overcrowding hospitals, housing shortage, and large deficits. As an example, hundreds of thousands of refugees from Somalia are completely taking over the once great state of Minnesota. Somalian gangs are roving the streets looking for prey as our wonderful people stay locked in their apartments and houses, hoping against hope that they will be left alone. The seriously R-tard governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz, does nothing either through fear, incompetence, or both, while the worst congressman in our country, Ilhan Omar, wrapped in her swaddling hijab, and who probably came into the country illegally, and that you're not allowed to marry your brother, does nothing but hatefully complain about America. It's constitutional, and how badly she is treated with her place of origin is a decadent, backwards, crime-ridden shithole with essentially not even a country or lack government, military, police, schools, etc. What a fantastic statement by Donald Trump. Also, we have to understand that Ilhan Omar, not too long ago, was on a podcast where she called Americans stupid. So we have to understand that Ilhan Omar hates Americans, uses them for fucking gain and popularity and power, and basically wants us all dead. So that's fantastic. Then we have another Truth Social post by Donald Trump about third world nations not being allowed into the... What's up, America? How you doing, Steph? And this is a post by Donald Trump on Truth Social. I talked about the one earlier. Now I want to talk about this because him calling Tim Walz retarded is one thing. But now this is Trump saying that he's not going to be allowing third world illegal aliens back into the United States. So this is Trump on Truth Social about illegals. So let's listen in. Quote, even as we have progressed technologically, immigration policy has eroded those gains and living conditions for many. I will permanently pause migration from all third world countries to allow the U.S. system to fully recover. Now, people on TikTok are already saying that's racist. Obviously, it's not. I think this is fucking hilarious. To allow the U.S. system to fully recover, terminate all the millions of Biden illegal admissions, including those signed by Sleepy Joe's Biden auto pen, and remove anyone who is not a net asset to the United States or is incapable of loving our country, end all federal benefits and subsidies to non-citizens of our country, denaturalize migrants who undermine domestic tranquility, and deport any foreign national who is a public charge, security risk, or non-compatible with Western civilization. Damn. These goals will be pursued with the aim of achieving a major reduction in illegal and disruptive populations, including those admitted through an unauthorized and illegal auto pen approval process. Only reverse migration can fully cure this. Wonderful results. Absolutely right, sir. Other than that, happy Thanksgiving to all, except those that hate, steal, murder, and destroy everything that America stands for. You won't be here for long, says President Donald Trump. What a fantastic message. I love that about Trump, is what he said. and I think that's a great message because I'm not going to lie, Islam is here to stay. Yeah, keep telling yourself that. Islam will be here to stay once you stop trying to kill and take women as property that you believe you're entitled to. You're not, just because it's heathen lands. God can see you in heathen lands, and that notion that he can't is stupid. And if you believe that is a God, then that is no God of mine. I don't know exactly. I think it's because I rolled this one. And so, not a proponent of Islam, not going to say I am. I will never bow down to Islam. I've had Islamic friends. I know people that have dated Islamic girls. I have no problem with the people. What I do have a problem with is the spread of Sharia law and not an evolution of the religion. That's my answer. I believe Jesus is God. My question is, why don't you? Since in the Quran it says Jesus is the judge. And you say, well, hold on a second. Allah is the actual God, or the same as Yahweh as they believe. Thank you, Steph. But that's not the case. You see, humans are not powerful enough to approach God openly. You see, that's the issue here. That's why Jesus is the judge. You believe it in your own religion that Jesus is the judge. He's the intercessor between you and God. But the difference is, and this is where Muhammad was wrong, because he didn't like the Jews and he didn't like the Christians because of what had been happening in the area over the last couple hundred years before that. So, and a lot of it had to do with the Jewish expansion. It's a long story. But Jesus is actually it's not even an avatar of God. God can do multiple things. What's up, mister? So God can be in heaven and a person and a spirit at the same time. And that's the only difference between Islam. You can't even comment back without typing the whole username. Yeah, that's true. And so in Islam, you say, well, Jesus is the intercessor, Jesus is the judge, etc., etc. That's funny. But at the same time, I still believe Jesus is God. What's up, my friend? Why is that? Because I died of an overdose once, and the only way I was able to actually live was because of Jesus calling to him when I was dying and went to the other side after I died of a drug overdose when I was 17. So that's why I believe that. Now, there was no Islam, there was no Buddha. It was a whole other world, and I'll get into that story one day. It's on TikTok. Maybe I should make a long-form video about my near-death experience. But from what I've gathered, the experience of Jesus existing was just God taking himself out on a technicality, one, to use as an energetic blood sacrifice, and which apparently was cut off from humans by God himself before Jesus came, which was blood sacrifices. And two, basically Jesus showed the power by reigniting himself into life again. And so then he was able to go and it said sits at the right hand. And it's like, well, it's too complex for humans. It's actually not too complex from humans. That background, oh, hell yeah, man. I love New York City. But it's not too complex to humans to understand how God can do this. It's the same as saying, well, is affecting you. Stop. No. It's the same as saying that God, you know how an ice cube can be ice, water vapor, and liquid at the same time, but still be the same thing? That's basically the equivalent explanation of God as a person, as a spirit, and as a Godhead entity. So think about it that way. And that's about the easiest explanation, human, that I can get into. But I won't get into religion right now unless you guys really want me to. Breaking news, and I need to make a video on this. Senator Tommy Tuberville of Alabama is being praised for a full immediate ban on Islamic migrants and deport every single Islamist who's living among us just waiting to attack, says Tommy Tuberville. You don't know how lucky you are to hate Trump. Oh, to have Trump. Yeah, I know. Isn't it great? Isn't it a fantastic situation? So, excuse me, that weed is strong. So then we have Mossad last year admitting we created a pretend world. We are a global production company. We write the screenplay. We're the directors and the producers. The world is our stage, says the Mossad. So now the guy that killed the 2 National Guardsmen in Washington, D.C., who was a CIA, worked with them initially, are now trying to say that that's a Mossad plant. Pardon. Yeah, they're actually starting to deport people in Minneapolis and Dearborn right now, so that's new. We'll get into that CIA Mossad story later on, and we'll see what happens with that. Now let's go on to the news, and then I want to show you guys the breaking news on X. And if you guys want me to, I can play Christmas music. I'm making my own Christmas music. I have instrumental Christmas music, songs that have never been done before, or I could get my white suit with a peppermint tie and do a Christmas album and put it here on YouTube and on TikTok. It's disgusting. It's just weed, man. So I could do something like Silver Bells, Silver Bells. What breaking news is in the news? Well, the first thing we got here is a illegal alien was arrested for shooting at a car carrying a toddler during a road rage incident in Wyoming. The United States, Donald Trump says that we're about to attack ground forces in Venezuela. Maximalist European leaders made Ukrainian peace legally impossible. Donald Trump slams Tim Walz, calling him seriously retarded. Donald Trump cancels Biden's auto pen executive orders, saying that Biden is a puppet, and if he fights back, he'll be charged with perjury. So that's another Donald Trump guarantee. And we also have hundreds missing and now dozens more dead after the apartment fire in Hong Kong, with local people being pissed off enough almost to protest. What's up, Proud Boy? How you doing? So, as you know, there was a Chinese fire at an apartment fire. I showed you the videos of that. Terrible death toll is mounting after a cluster of high-rise Hong Kong apartment towers went into flames. 44 people dead, 279 missing, 3 arrested, which points to possibly on purpose. One was arrested for praying at an abortion clinic. Jesus Christ, the United Kingdom is lost. With 279 missing, Hong Kong building fire, worst Hong Kong building fire in 50 years. Accusations of gross negligence have been directed at a construction company that was renovating the Mammoth complex. As you saw in the video, the scaffolding that was bamboo caught on fire. The fire at the Wang Fuk Court apartment complex in northern Hong Kong's Tai Po district broke out on Wednesday. The property boasts 8 32-story apartment towers with some 2,000 units housing 4,800 residents built in 1980s. Much of the complex was clad in bamboo scaffolding wrapped with netting as the major exterior renovation was underway. Yes, yeah, definitely. And the thing is, it's strong, but it caught on fire. And here's videos of it. They were phasing out bamboo used for scaffolding. Even in 2025, bamboo is commonly used in Hong Kong construction work, with workers using zip ties to latch poles together, going as high as 80 stories. You imagine that? Erecting lattice work of cheap, fast-growing, sturdy wood for even large-scale projects. The risk has been acknowledged. In March, Hong Kong's development authorities issued a directive that at least 50% of government construction must employ metal scaffolding. And what was seen as a major step in finally waning the industry from centuries-long reliance on bamboo. Now I'm assuming they'll do 100%. More than 200 department vehicles, another 100 ambulances with 800 workers or firefighters were there to put out the fire. One firefighter died. Police arrest 3 men between the ages of 52 and 68, presumably because of the fact of negligence. Now, I put up some videos on YouTube here of the fire. I can put up some more that are showing up on X and also on InfoWars for some fucked up reason. But that's what we got with that. And then in other news, Trump terminates all Biden orders. We talked about that a little while ago. Bronze Star vet warns that Afghan allies are untrustworthy. I believe that. Hegseth says we've only just begun to kill narco terrorists. By the way, if you're here, don't forget to gift or share or subscribe. Just subscribe. That'll work too. RFK Jr. and Oliver Stone team up for a movie. I would really like to get the fluoride out of the water in America, and I would like to get the toxic ingredients out of our food and water. It pisses me off that we're not. And then now we have 4th generation Vietnamese residents saying that America is too difficult to live. What happened? Thank you, Black-Eyed Hobo. What did he do?
Give you 500.
Oh, thank you, Black-Eyed Hobo and Bulletin. You guys are awesome. Oh, thank you, Built in America. So now 4th generation Vietnamese people are saying that they want to go back to Vietnam because they say that it's more difficult to live. And in China, listen to this, because of China's social credit score, hundreds and thousands of people are becoming homeless. So throughout China, thank you, Camille, tens of thousands of people have become homeless because the social credit score has identified them as bad citizens. So now tent cities are popping up under overpasses in China, which the police are also arresting people for being homeless, taking their businesses and property away because they're considered, quote, bad citizens. Thank you, Steph Cox. So China's social credit score, which of course the United States will eventually be implementing, and I'm going to put a video up on TikTok and here of the Chinese that are homeless. Somebody says stop doing this, turning their hazards on the highway when it's snowing. Yeah, that's bullshit. And so I need to take a look at China's homeless. Maybe we'll feature that on here just a little while. Also in the United States, and this is happening in Sacramento and Oakland, California, where they're having van cities show up, which are campers, vans, and SUVs of people that are living on the streets because they can't afford to live in California. People like teachers and fucking educators and people that are actually making money, but they can't fucking afford or living in camper vans throughout the California. And so every 3 days, they have to move these camper vans. Now, in the state of California, they have spent $9 million every year on simply enforcing towing and making it hard on people's lives that are living in small vehicles because they can't afford it. But $6 million would have provided them services so they could hook their campers up to electrics and also a place to get their water and waste away. So they would have spent less money basically helping people than they would enforcing it, yet California continues to waste money doing that shit. And I've seen a couple of documentaries that are on here, and maybe I'll do that. And so what a lot of these municipalities like Sacramento, Oakland, and a couple other, can we smoke a joint when we get back? Like a pre-roll?
Yeah.
Okay. And a couple others,
I don't have no rings over here.
okay, have basically said that every 3 days, take it easy, Built in America. You're a king. Follow Built in America. I have a video on here of his business. I need to put a playlist for Built in America or Made in America businesses. He is one of them out in South Central Texas, San Antonio. Go check out Built in America. Does amazing work. It's is it Real Built in America or at Built in America? I've got a video on here. Check it out. Awesome shit. But yes, so that's what's happening here in the United States. And it's actually interesting, not really interesting, but terrifying how quickly you're one paycheck away from basically being in poverty. You're one paycheck away from losing every single thing that you've ever had. And that's true with most people in the United States. We shouldn't have to live this way, God damn it, nor should I have to live with X fucking freezing when I'm trying to get into the news. What's up, Steph? And let me check that out because I want to show the breaking news of the day. And Somalians that are being deported from Minnesota, they're now arriving back home saying that they don't know how they're going to survive. What's up, Billy? What happened? Oh, Built in America. Yeah, he's the king, man. So let's check out the breaking news. And Department of Government Efficiency has nuked fake news with reports that they've discovered blah, 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 blah. President Trump's Treasury has issued a memo that they'll be seizing remittance sent abroad. Oh, yeah. All right, breaking news. Let's get into it. I'll turn the camera so we can all watch it together because I know you like seeing my sexually attractive face. At the same time, I want to read this and show you exactly what I'm seeing here. Sorry for picking my nose. I probably need to iron out my nose hairs, but I'm not. So let's get into it. We'll get into shotgun news or speed news, which is on X. And we'll just read what we're reading because it looks like Donald Trump is now seizing money going overseas. What an absolute thrilling day with getting third world riffraff out of the United States. So let's just read this together. And, oh, wait, I don't need to do that. I need to do that. There we go. Thank you. And I'll zoom in a little more, but let's talk about this. Financial Center issues alert on cross-border fund transfers involving illegal aliens. Now, we've been seeing this a lot where illegal aliens have been sending money back to their home countries, and obviously some of that money has ended up in the hands of terrorists. So just moments ago, Washington, D.C., the United States Department of Treasury Finance Crimes Enforcement is issuing an alert as part of the Treasury efforts to prevent the exploitation of the United States financial system by illegal aliens in the United States seeking to move illicitly obtained funds. Annually, over the past several years, the United States has witnessed a significant volume of cross-border funds transfers, including remittance from individuals located in the United States, and has taken multiple steps this year to highlight risks prevented by cross-border financial activity. Money services businesses should be vigilant, and I'm assuming that's like Western Union and shit like that. which they don't give a fuck. But now this makes it so there's no reason for illegals to be here because they can't support their families. Take it easy, Dave. I know I got to get off soon here in a little while. Under Secretary for Terrorism and Financial Intelligence John Hurley says, quote, "At Treasury, we will continue to protect the American people by faithfully upholding the laws of the United States. This alert is consistent with Executive Order 14159, protecting the American people against invasion. Money services businesses are generally required to file suspicious activities report for a transaction that involves at least $2,000 and that the MSB know suspect or have reason to suspect." Excuse me. This includes the cross-border transfer of funds derived from unlawful employment and otherwise derived from funds the NBS knows suspects or has reason to suspect were illicitly obtained in the United States. I would say it would be good to go after funds. Well, of course not, but I think that would be good to have funds of $500 or more investigated. So, let's see. Sergei Lavrov, the U.S. represents the Western Bloc, although Europe sees itself as separate bloc. It ultimately does what the United States says. Therefore, it does not matter what Europe says. Europe is 100% dependent on the United States economically and militarily. Sergei Lavrov is 100% right on that. They will bow to our dick measuring and none other. Elon Musk reports Department of Homeland Security, Doge is here. But I want to get into breaking news that's happening right now so we can bypass the mainstream media. Some people are saying that Imran Khan was murdered in jail. That is the old Prime Minister of Pakistan. We don't have any verified sources on that. Breaking news, active event still going on. 2 people were shot and transported to the hospital in Westfield Valley Fair Mall in Santa Clara, California. Multiple helicopters hovering above the mall, people rushing from the mall. So this is happening moments ago in a mall in California. Santa Clara Mall in California. We have breaking news of a shooting going on, people running away. I'll play the video here and start it over. As you can see, people are running away. This is at a mall in California, possible active shooter event. The video sucks. Well, my camera sucks. That's the thing. This is why I need an iPhone, because this camera sucks so much dick, it barely even is useful. Like, have you ever, like, the way, it's terrible. It's like fucking ghetto-ass bullshit. So that's your first video. This right here, it looks like it's near Burbank. And it's the Westfield Valley Mall active event still going on. Here are fire trucks being shown. This is in California right now. Like I said, active shooter. 2 people shot, transported to the hospital. Westfield Valley Fair Mall, Santa Clara, California. Westfield Valley Fair Mall, Santa Clara, California. Multiple people possibly shot and taken to the hospital. This is happening now. And this is from this particular helicopter. So that is breaking news. We will look into that more, and I'll get some footage for you on that. Breaking news. What else do we have? President Trump goes scorched earth on Black Friday. Democrats in panic. A lot of news. D.C. National Guard confirmed to have connections to Washington State. The person that was killed. Indian news. That's always a fucking hoot. You see the Indian news? That is old. I've already seen that. Here's more at the Santa Clarita Mall. Take it easy, Jason. What's up, America? And so the breaking news of the day is the breaking news of the day. Let's check it out right here. 2 people shot. Here's more footage. So yeah, this is breaking news in California. It's always with the active shooters, isn't it? Take it easy, Karen. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe. Gift if you got it. So these are videos on TikTok of people running as the mall shooter. Oh, I can't possibly imagine. Thank you, BG. All right, so there was a mall shooting. We already talked about that. I showed you that footage earlier. There's them running out of the mall. There's people trying to sell weed on X. I bet it's not as good as the shit we have. The fuck is going on there? So let me see what we got here, because here's another one. Shooting at Valley Fair Mall, San Jose. Is that in a different place?
No, it's the same wall. Because it's Valley Fair.
What's up, Steph? Take it easy, Dave. So, all right, so they're going to the mall for that active shooter right there.
Engine 7, Truck 1, Rescue Medic 20, Battalion 5, full first for an active shooter or assailant. The command panel is Command 21, Valley Fair Mall, 2855, Stevens Creek Boulevard, near North Monroe Street and South Saywood Avenue. Station 10's area. The command panel is
So Santa Clara County. Oh.
Truck 1, Truck Command. There's an injury and a hard to access. Truck 1, Command. Yeah, San Jose Fire Engine 30. Can we upgrade our ambulance from code 2 to code 3 based on the head injury detail? And this is a hard to access area.
Head injury. So that means somebody was shot in the head. Okay.
Location. Engine 4, that's a negative. We're still getting active updates. Multiple callers from the mall saying there's bullet casings, multiple people sheltering in place, and a trail of blood from Macy's.
Trail of blood from Macy's.
Engine 10, Command 21. Command 22. Engine 10, you're on Command 22. Engine 10, you're on Command 23.
Just fucking join on this.
Dispatch on that. Had a call at this unfolded.
The monks went through your town?
Entrance to Stevens Creek Park and trying to find a better state location. Engine 10, 10-4, copy your stuff. Stuck in traffic. Break. Engine 4, go ahead. Around scene in Stevens Creek, Monroe. We have multiple people running across the street. We have pretty big traffic jam. We're going to remain stationed here until we hear further.
Shooting near Macy's.
Southwest corner area of Macy's.
West corner next to Macy's Men's. Multiple EV units coming in code 3.
Non-injury actor was canceled. The ambulance on scene.
Battalion 10 station at the southwest corner in the area of Macy's 10. Multiple BD units coming in code 3.
I need to carry my gun everywhere.
Standard code truck.
Stay firm.
All right. That's the fire.
Subscribe for 2 months.
Thank you, Steph. Yeah. What's up, America? Here's from inside.
We still have 100 coins.
One Adam 12. Yeah. Oh, you should do that. There you go. So there's people running. There you go. So there's people running there. There's the people running out. Breaking active shooter.
Wanted to cover that so bad.
There's someone on YouTube already talking about it right now. Let's see if there's any updated news here. People terrified. Thank you, me.
It's a single file line. The first responders are evacuating us out of here.
Thank you, my friends. Here you go. How much? Oh, thank you for the Corgi BG. So this is what we have here. This is from the mall shooting. And is it San Jose? Is that what it is? No gunshot sounds or no images of the shooters yet that I've found, but this just happened, what, a half hour, an hour ago? Is it really locking up on me? Of course it's fucking locking up on me. God damn, I hate Twitter. X is such a piece of shit, I swear to God. Like, it locks up on me for fucking everything. Like every fucking thing, I swear to God. Police report at least 2 victims with gunshot wounds.
I don't have money.
What?
I don't have coins.
You're out of coins? Thank you, baby. So I'm trying to find footage of this. I'm not trying to find some fucking hang up with X. So here's the parking lot of the Valley Fair Mall, I guess. So, are those people like going over the edge? What's up, Tree? How you doing? So they're even saying Macy's. These people all escaped. There's an active shooter at the mall in California. So we're checking out footage of this. We already showed you this one. So, new footage will probably be coming in. There's the people running away. We already saw those. Investigating how many dead. Well, 2 shot. I heard 1 shot in the head, or at least they said 1 with a head wound. There's the cops go. Obviously, this is developing. There'll be more footage coming up, I'm sure, as time progresses. Which, of course, I will find it here. There is images, officers with guns drawn, clearing out the mall after a shooting left 2 people injured. Here you go. First one you can see with the person running with their hands up as they evacuated. And the second is the fire engine and other medical services. They're there to clean up or to help out what's going on, to clean up. You know what I'm saying? There's that dude. It's the bro what the fuck dude. So this is breaking news. Let's see, because nothing on World War III yet. Why does everybody go and shoot crowds of people? Can you stop doing that shit? Like, I understand, like, you play GTA 5 a lot and shit, but come on. Like, that's ridiculous. Don't you think so, honey?
Mhm.
So let's check out San Jose and see what's going on here. Because that's where the shooting was. Or what was the mall called?
Westfield Valley Fair Mall.
Valley, Valley. Fair, Valley Fair. Okay, what's up, America? I just want to see the footage of it because I know. Here you go. Here we go. Oh, get it off the fucking little side thing there, you piece of shit. No peace yet? I haven't heard any peace yet. Just Trump recognizing territory of what the Russians gained. So there's people with food all over, slopped. Whoa, hold up. Is that a person on the ground right there?
Just a sweatshirt.
No, right there. He's sitting on the ground. Is he shot? Hold up. I hate my state too. What about here? Is that bags or is that victims? That's bags. There's somebody here. I don't know what that is. If they're shot, they could just be hiding. That's true. It's tough to say. So this is a more comprehensive video that I've seen. Oh yeah, they're hiding. Okay. Okay, so they're still alive. Yeah, this is in California, San Jose. And I don't see... Is that bags or a victim?
I think that's nice.
Bags. There's family running with kids. All right, so there's no footage of victims, so that's good, at least. But I heard 2 people may have been shot. Is this from another angle? People walking out with their hands up. In Spanish! You hear that? God damn it. Even in an emergency, we get DEI. Sorry. 2 people shot. Authorities say it was isolated. 8 to 10 shots inside the mall. Shoppers in the Lego store were shuffled to the back. Here's some people in the Lego store. Okay, so that's what we have going on with the mall shooting. So it looks like it's not some douchebag just walking around killing everybody. It was a, quote, isolated incident. So does that mean there was just some shit talking over a girl and some dude just fucking pulled out a gat and took his fucking fun doing what he does? Or does that mean that it's like every day in this shit, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Every fucking day up in here, baby. Okay, so that's what's going on there. Sorry about that. What's this? Gemini Norwhite and this guy are secretly dating. That's news. Pete Hegseth gave the order to kill everybody that was a narco terrorist. We already know that. India supplies Sri Lanka with relief. And Philadelphia airport bomb threat. Triggers ground stop. Operations resume swiftly. So that's fun. Houston firefighters battling a 2-alarm fire that sparked later this evening. And women are no longer safe in Andhra Pradesh as students are being raped. Of course they are. Why not? Panic in the capital of jihadists attempt a coup in Nigeria. Heavy gunfire reported around Aso Rock. President Tinubu moved underground as it looks like a potential coup attempt is going on in Nigeria. So let's take that on. Because if that's the case and the Islamists are moving, then goddamn, that's not going to be good, is it, honey? If you look up Nigeria, sometimes you just get tits on here. Actually, you do, or you get people dying. I'll just look up coup. If that's true, I'll bring you the news on that. Jonathan abandoned Guinea-Bissau. Yeah, there was a takeover, a coup of Guinea-Bissau's government not too long ago, so remember that. Thank you, Allie. Oh, what's up, America? Shit. I have not ever seen that. And so I'll get back to you on that if there's actually a coup going on. Obviously, like I said, Guinea-Bissau had a coup the other day, and alleged panic in the capital as jihadists attempted coup in Nigeria. Heavy gunfire reported around Aso Rock. I'm going to look up President Tinubu or just Tinubu and try to get that and find out if they are actually taking this guy out. There's only one report on that so far. So I'm going to call bullshit on that because jihadists also like to spread fake bullshit. Or I'll just look up Tinubu because that's the president of Nigeria. And I'm not seeing anything except that one story that Nigeria is being attacked. So I'm going to say government can't save us. We have Tinubu has failed Nigeria. So if that's the case, we'll get back to that and we'll see the realities if that's true. But that's the breaking news in the last couple of minutes, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls and children of all ages. Thank you, Allie. Is that there was a mall shooting in California just moments ago. Isolated incident, 2 shot, unaware of the actual how the people are doing. Hopefully they're not dead. This is my Christmas tree, by the way. So I hope you like my Christmas tree. That's fantastic. I love it. And President of Nigeria, however, does declare a state of emergency over jihadi mass abductions and killings. Thank you, Allie. That was awesome, by the way. Nigerian President Bola Tinubu on Wednesday declared a state of national emergency over a string of brutal attacks and kidnappings, including mass abductions of school children. Quote, "My fellow Nigerians, this is a national emergency, and we are responding by deploying more boots on the ground, especially in security-challenged areas." Thank you. Tinubu said, announcing plans to recruit another 20,000 police and deploy forest guards to lawless areas in northern Nigeria. Nigeria has 30,000 police so far. Although it has previously approved a nationwide upgrade of police training facilities, the police authorities are, by this statement, authorized to use various National Youth Service Corps camps as training depots. The president also made a somewhat awkward acknowledgement that too much of Nigeria's police force is engaged in protecting VIPs and their property. So in Nigeria, the police force is using officers to protect property. I want to build a snowman. The window is open, so's that door. I didn't know they did that anymore. Who knew we had 8,000 salad plates? How can you have a ballroom with no balls, giggity? Thank you, Danny. Thinbu also said he would support legislation allowing the 36 states in Nigeria to support their own police forces. I think it would be a good idea if Donald Trump bombed fucking Boko Haram. Diplomatic coup d'etat sweeps Guinea-Bissau. As you know, another guy in uniform pretending to be some power force with as many stars on his chest as there are that I can see in the sky has taken over the country of Guinea-Bissau. So Economic Community of West African States, or ECOWAS, on Friday suspended the nation of Guinea-Bissau from all decision-making roles after its civilian government was overthrown by a military coup. To that end, ECOWAS demanded the military of Guinea-Bissau provide safe passage for international observers, release all detained officials, and allow the National Electoral Commission to proceed without delay with the declaration of the results of the election of 23 November 2025. The bloc said economic sanctions could be on the table if the military junta did not cooperate. Guinea-Bissau is a small and impoverished country that has experienced numerous upheavals since it gained independence from Portugal in 1974. It was suspended from ECOWAS and the African Union for another coup in 2012. Guinea-Bissau held an election last week in which the current president, Umaro Sissoco, sought a second term in office. The election was originally scheduled for February, but was delayed over a dispute about how exactly long Embalo's term was supposed to last. Critics said the delay should have disqualified him from running again. Oh. Hi, Milo. The election was watched by African and international observers with great apprehension because 9 other nations in West Africa have fallen to coups. Thank you, my friend. Thank you for the gifts. Who was that? Thank you, Sue. Over the last decade. As you know, Christians are being murdered in Nigeria, and Christians are being murdered in South Sudan and along the African transition zone. So we need to stop that. Video of John Oliver calling for more Afghan migrants surfaces. And Pope Leo XIV blesses a rave. Elton John reveals how Trump could become one of the greatest presidents in history, and a rare non-rebuke of Donald Trump. And that is what we're doing. And Ilhan Omar, I hope she gets fucking deported. Evidence shows, Donald Trump shows what he calls evidence that Ilhan Omar married her brother and then divorced. Don't know if that's true. I'd like you to set that up. And Ron DeSantis is now calling for Ilhan Omar to be expelled from Congress. He's not the first one to do that. I think Ilhan Omar is a clear and present danger to the United States and has nothing but disdain for America and should be removed from Congress because Ilhan Omar is a vile pile of human dog water, in my professional opinion. No, somebody says no. Oh, yes, there you go. Campbell's Soup Company. Well, thank you for that, Tiffany Cianci. Says normalize tagging original creators. Hello America Sup is the original creator, as someone on X took my video and put it somewhere else like a fucking bitch. So thank you, Tiffany Cianci. So real quick, I want to show you one thing on China Undercover, and then I'm going to get the fuck off here. And this is about China's homeless that have been coming about because of a digital credit score known as the nationwide social credit system. So real quick, I'm going to show you this, and then I'm going to get the fuck out of here because my wife is sexy. Aren't you, baby? But you have to smoke another half gram because I have problems. So this is an expose on the social credit system of China making people homeless because it is making them look like bad citizens, even though a lot of them have done really nothing wrong.
As whispers, a few people sleeping under bridges.
Hello.
As whispers, a few people sleeping under bridges, families vanishing from rented homes overnight. But the silence didn't last. What began as isolated disappearances has exploded into a nationwide tragedy. Across China, tens of thousands have become invisible, not because they broke the law, but because an algorithm said they did. This is the dark side of China's credit system, a digital prison built without walls. For years, state media praised it as a system of trust, a way to reward honesty and discipline. In reality, it's a scoring machine that tracks your every move, your spending, your friends, your posts, even your thoughts. One mistake, one overdue payment, one careless comment, and your digital score drops. And when it drops, life itself begins to shut down. No travel, no housing, no bank access. Your phone payment app's locked. Your ID flashes red. Your name appears on the national blacklist. At first, people believed it only targeted criminals. But when China's economy began to crumble, the net widened. Suddenly, anyone in debt, anyone late on taxes, anyone who dared to speak up was branded untrustworthy.
Before?
In cities like Chengdu and Wuhan, landlords received quiet warnings: do not rent to low-score individuals. Overnight, entire families were evicted. WeChat and Alipay stopped working. Survival became impossible. Under bridges and highways, tent cities began to appear, filled with former teachers, engineers, and office clerks whose only crime was losing digital points. In Beijing, underpasses along the Fourth Ring Road have turned into zones of exile. Volunteers who bring food are interrogated by police. Even homeless shelters reject those whose biometric IDs mark them as credit offenders. One viral clip shows a middle-aged woman crying as her phone flashes red. Dishonest citizen. She once owned a small factory. When it went bankrupt, her score collapsed. Her landlord forced her out. Now, she sleeps in an abandoned bus stop with her grandchildren. Official media pretends none of this exists, but videos keep resurfacing. Police trucks clearing bridge camps, officers erasing faces from camera feeds. Hashtags like #LifeWithoutQR and #ForgottenCitizens appear on Weibo, trend for hours, then vanish. Behind the censorship lies fear that the public will realize the truth. China has created a new underclass, erased not by war or famine, but by data. Amnesty International calls it a modern exile, where punishment is not prison, but deletion. Even helping the blacklisted can cost you. In Guangzhou, a construction worker lent his charger to a homeless man. Days later, his own score dropped, labeled association with untrustworthy individuals.
Association
before being deleted.
with
Kindness is dangerous now.
untrustworthy
Some
people.
provinces now run so-called rehabilitation zones, where low-score citizens must perform labor to regain points.
Oh,
Locals call them digital labor camps, places where broken people rebuild the very system that broke them. What's unfolding is more than social control. It's algorithmic punishment, a quiet, efficient way to erase those who don't fit the model of obedience. And across China, the erased are multiplying. China's system is unraveling faster than anyone imagined. The economy is stalling, debts are exploding, and trust has collapsed. Every week, more names vanish into the government's blacklist, erased not by crime, but by code. One user wrote before vanishing online, "In China, you don't get evicted for missing rent. You disappear because the system decides you're unworthy." what was once praised as a model of digital order has become a living nightmare.
So there's that. And that is how China's social credit score seems to be working. Now, real quick, here's Ilhan Omar saying that we're all stupid because we're Americans.
These people are just idiots. I really, I'm at the point where it's become really hard to have an intellectual debate with any of these people because the level of stupidity that they are displaying every single day is frankly embarrassing, not just in Congress, but as Americans. And the fact that these people are allowed to say just the most ridiculous things tells you that the dumbing of the United States has arrived, because how else do we get a Trump presidency again?
I know we made you come
These
in.
people are just idiots. I really, I'm,
Here, let's hear that again.
These people are just idiots. I really, these people are just idiots. These people are just idiots. I really
Talking about us.
I'm at the point where it's become really hard to have an intellectual debate with any of these people because the level of stupidity that they are displaying every single day is frankly embarrassing, not just in Congress, but as Americans. And the fact that these people are allowed to say just the most ridiculous things tells you that the dumbing of the United States has arrived, because
That's right,
how
Allie.
else do we get a Trump presidency again?
So she called all, see, and this is what she's called all the Americans. I have that on my Twitter page. She called all the Americans stupid. She called all of us stupid and that we're too dumb and all this other shit. What do you think about that idiot?
I would say our country should be more fearful of white men across our country, because they are actually causing most of the deaths within this country. I would say
We should be fearful of white people, honey. White men. Ilhan Omar. Let's see.
Somalis are not terrorizing this. Somalis are not terrorizing this nation. We are helping it thrive.
What?
Have always seen as a fabric, has seen themselves as a fabric of this nation. So not only are we not going anywhere, we are not going to allow anybody to make us feel less Minnesotan or less American. Somalis
Yes,
are not
you will.
terrorizing this nation.
Coming up here, you will.
members of Congress can't be enough to understand that members of Congress can't be impeached. When you have Nancy and Randy saying, we're on it, we're going to impeach her, when they're saying they're going to deport me, knowing full well that you cannot deport an American citizen.
Ilhan Omar, the cracks are beginning to show. Now that you are on Trump's radar, I think you are starting to become very afraid. You're starting to panic. It looks like you are terrified and you feel some sense of threat. And
Yep.
honestly,
She's
you should
right.
be. I would like to point out and comment on the last statement that you made in that interview, but I'd also like to correct you on some few things. Yes, you are correct. American citizens cannot be deported, but what you failed to mention is that there are two types of American citizens. You failed to make that distinction. They are natural-born citizens and they are naturalized citizens, which you and I fall under that category. Both you and I are naturalized citizens. You being a Somalian and I am a Zambian. We are
Zambia.
naturalized citizens
Very
because
cool.
we satisfied the requirements needed to pursue citizenship through a legal process. We applied for naturalization because we satisfied all the requirements needed by immigration in order for us to pursue to become citizens.
And yes, I'll be done after we smoke that joint.
Natural-born citizens cannot be deported. Why? Because they were born here. However, naturalized citizens, we can get our citizenship revoked through a denaturalization process. And how that can come about is if we are being pursued criminally or civically. And it has to go through the federal courts. When they start civil or criminal proceedings, that's where we can run the risk of having our citizenship revoked. Now, you on the other hand, you are being pursued criminally because it's been alleged that you had committed acts of fraud when it came to applying for your citizenship, for your naturalized citizenship.
She
You
does.
had made some statements which were misrepresented, or you had omitted facts, or you did not tell the truth when it came to applying for your citizenship. Now this alleged information has come about that you had lied on your application. That is why you're being pursued.
She should be in
criminally.
government. Is this
And
gone?
that's how you may face being deported or having your citizenship
Smells good,
revoked because of those things. The problem with you, Ilhan, is I think you've gotten way too comfortable. To be honest with you, you're very cocky. You're taking this whole thing for granted. The fact that you are in this country, let me tell you something. Being a U.S. citizen, especially being a naturalized U.S. citizen, that is a privilege. It's not a right. I have a privilege,
We got
and
stuff.
I am
you're
proud,
sexy.
and I am happy.
How big they
I am
are.
grateful that I was awarded and I was afforded that opportunity to be a citizen of this country.
Damn right, Johnny.
America didn't have to do that. They didn't have to grant me a citizenship because I've been in this country. So don't bite the hands that feed you. And for you to be so disrespectful to Trump, the way you talk about this man like he is shit under your shoe, is very disrespectful. Because guess what? You don't have to be here. He can have the right to pursue criminal proceedings to get you out of this country. Because time and time again, your actions, the things that you say and you do, show that you are not a loyal citizen of this country. You don't deserve to be an American citizen. Why? Because you put your own country of Somalia first. Then you do this country that has afforded you the abilities, the privileges, and the access for you to even have a platform. Because the country that you come from Somalia, they oppress women. And you don't have the freedoms or the rights to talk the way you do. So if I were you, I would not bite the hands that feed you. And I would sit down and humble myself. Because right now what you're doing, Ilhan, you're not being humble. You're not showing gratitude. If it wasn't for America, where would you be right now? The very same country of Somalia that you're always crying about, that you put first, why aren't you there already? If that country is doing so much for you and it's the country that you love so much, why aren't you pursuing your pursuance there? Why aren't you there? But no, you want to take America for granted. The country that has awarded you the wealth, the platform for you to have a position in government. But this is how you shit on America like this? No, you don't deserve to be a citizen. And I really do hope that Homeland Security, they start to do thorough investigations so that they can get you out of here. Because you have time and time again taken advantage of this country. Some of your shady dealings that you've done, committing fraud, embezzling money, all these things, getting your community who are also committing acts of fraud. You are perpetuating that. You are at the forefront. Now you want to shit on America, the very same country that has done a lot for you? How dare you? How dare you?
And she just called us stupid, too.
You would be nothing. It's so annoying because you get people like myself who really have so much respect for this country and are so satisfied and so appreciative of what America has done.
There you go. God damn,
You're
you're
not
sexy.
worthy. You're not worthy to be in office. You're not worthy to have that title of being a congresswoman.
yes.
You don't
Fuck
deserve
that
to be
bitch.
here. You need to go. Ilhan, you need to go. I'm tired of the level of disrespect.
Okay, so there's that, and then here's
Hi, sir.
Sure, hi.
Hi, sir.
Sure, hi.
What do the Somalians have to do with this Afghan guy who shot the national?
Nothing but Somalians have caused a lot of trouble. They're ripping us off for a lot of money. There's a tremendous amount of going
Ali.
back to Somalia.
what the hell are we paying money to Somalia for? But they're ripping off our country at a level that few people have been able to see before. That's about the only thing. You talk about competence. We have Ilhan Omar, who does nothing but complain about our country and our Constitution. And she comes from a country with practically no country. It's devastated, it's crime-ridden, it's a mess, it's a disgrace.
That's right, Nana.
We took their people at tremendous... We're not taking their people anymore. We're not taking their people. And we're getting a lot of their people out because they're nothing but trouble. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. Go ahead.
Okay. Anyway, so that's that.
Nothing but Somalians, of course, a lot of...
That's that. And then obviously there's the fuck Islam shit. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of... Islam has become a problem in America. Oh, they're arresting Palestinian protesters in New York, honey. Oh, no. What'll ever happen? Yeah, this is today. They tried to go and disrupt Black Friday. There's a guy getting roughed up. So this was the Black Friday situation today. Couple arrests. God, you're sexy. Yeah, Gandalf, that was good. I have a baby in a protest. You better respect me. It's like, why would you bring a baby? Did you catch that? Fucking idiot brought a baby to a protest. What the fuck is wrong with you? Yeah, I know, but they also don't have a right to do the Death to America marches and the terrorist shit. So you gotta take that with a grain of salt. Yeah, I'm not a fascist of any kind. You should be able to protest. But, come on, haven't we all had enough of this shit? Maybe if people weren't killing each other for religion, you wouldn't have to worry about it. What about Christians? Well, they're not doing that right now. Maybe 500 years ago, but not now. So, I'm only worried about now. This is entitled, Islam is Hell for Women. So anyway, that's about the news for today. What is this bullshit? I'll check on the mall thing here. Okay, so this was Philadelphia City Hall. So, burning American flags, of course. Outside of Philadelphia City Hall. So it looks like we're getting. Oh, we got a communist flag there. Let's see. Let's see what Philadelphia has to offer. Are we doing that bullshit now? Oh my God. See, that's the thing. I don't mind a good protest. Underage drinking crackdown by Philadelphia cops. I'm sure we'll. Clicking Philadelphia, I'm sure here in a minute there'll be no question. There'll either be a set of tits or a big fucking cock, whichever it is. Because it's Twitter and I have my content filter off. Oh yeah, I'm not going to show that. Guy's cock's out. Okay. Well, anyway, that's the news of the day, I guess. What's up, America? It wasn't as thrilling. I got to tell you, the news has been kind of weak the last couple of days. I guess it would be good if it's kind of weak. We want it weak. We don't want the news being absolutely terrifyingly horrible, do we? So whatever's clever. But anyway, that was the news. What's up, Allie? What's up, everybody? Thank you for being here. Subscribe to my page here if you haven't. And become a member. I've got several various levels of memberships on here. I've got music. I've got my political videos, which I'll put all of them up tonight from TikTok. I've got my music on here, which has very low views, but oh well, I try anyway. And my long form videos, just my regular YouTube videos. My shorts get okay views, but my long form videos get nothing. So go check out my long form videos. Hell yeah, thank you, Steph. Thank you for being here. YouTube's much better. Go check out my long form videos. Just click them and then watch them all the way to the end. Just walk out of the room of me talking. And then that helps the algorithm. And by, hell yeah, thank you, Steph. The long for just having playing in the background, thumbs up and engagement. And of course that gets the algorithm to like it and blah, 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 blah. So subscribe and share and like and join my memberships if you haven't already. Gift if you got it. I don't know. It's a newer system, so I'm kind of liking it. And of course, smoke them if you got them. I am too, Allie. I'm still figuring out what's going on here. I noticed that I get viewers, at least depending on what I call the titles, on this version up and down. But if I go sideways, I don't know how to do it. I thought it would be the exact same. Maybe I should try it long ways with what I'm doing now. We'll find out. Maybe I'll do TikTok, but while doing that, but TikTok is a bitch made. TikTok is a bitch made. Like, I can at least talk here on YouTube. TikTok sucks dick. Don't know what to tell you. They are a bunch of weird fucks over there. TikTok's full of a bunch of weird fucking pieces of shit. Titles are everything. That's what I figured. And so yesterday, like before, I was just putting news, but then I asked Grok and they said to put a dot with breaking news, and I did that. And I know I need to do the descriptions a little better on it, but it increased. The one day I had like 1,050, and then the next day when I added the dot and changed the title, I had 8,800. So my stream was 8,000 or 8 times better. And then if there's ever a protest and I do a title that just says news protests live and I show it, that's my highest, was 150,000 views on a live stream. But it's winter. There's no protests. And as you know, liberals won't protest in the snow because, I don't know, it's just one of those things. But anyway, follow me here, all that shit. I'll be back tomorrow as always. If you don't like me, mute me or whatever it is they do on YouTube and go fuck yourself. I've got a merch store somewhere. Go check out my shop. I don't know how to tag products on here. I would say to learn, but I have no fucking clue what I'm doing. I probably need to be really thorough and take like a 2-hour tutorial. Is a huge deal right now. Is it on YouTube? I figured that was, but I don't want to do show any of his stuff. I'm sure Candace Owens is huge on here. I think she's got like 5 million followers or something, but that's what I do. So I'm only at 16,700 followers. So subscribe, tell all your friends to subscribe to me, all that bullshit. And share my videos with on X and other big YouTubers, and hopefully people will come here and all that. So I'll see you tomorrow. Once again, I'll go over on TikTok tomorrow and start there until some douchebag inevitably false reports me for misinformation, and then I'll come back, flip them off, call them dick suckers, and then come over here. So I'll see you later. Bye. Subscribe and all that other shit.